Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Force for Growth Show. I'm Ricardo,
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Courtney.
and it's
And
Monday, guys.
happy Monday.
Happy
How are
Yes.
Monday.
you doing this Monday? How are you doing this Monday?
I'm
It,
excited for this week.
it's the
Me
last
too.
Monday of September. It's the last Monday of September. Can y'all
What will we
believe
do
that?
with it?
We're
Yeah.
about to start the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter,
Yeah.
Q4
Woo.
2020, everybody.
Can't believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta ramp up and September on a great note, ramp up for Q4 so we can go into what 2021.
Woo, woo. Yes. And I think our
Yeah.
word of the week was on par with that because it truly fits with what we're mumbling about right now. But okay, before we go there, our word of the week, we selected each Monday on our 6 a.m. calls. We pull a Do 52 stick that is stamped with a verb. And the Do 52 program is by House of Shine, and it's a powerful toolkit designed to prompt us weekly to do things and open ourselves up to new ideas, new opportunities, new things. So, our word of the week is drum. So, I'm going to throw it back to Michelle.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love how the most random words can spark the most interesting conversations. So this was a good one. So the definition, the verb is to make a succession of strokes or vibrations that produce sounds like drum beats. To beat a drum, to throb or sound rhythmically, to stir up interest. And then there's to summon or enlist by or as if by beating a drum. And to drive or force by steady effort or reiteration. So,
Mm. What are we drumming up, guys?
yeah.
Before we go there, I need to make sure I get everyone on the same beat. Remember that we're running a
Unintended.
contest this week or for a couple of weeks now because I got some feedback on the audio version, which I'll talk about shortly. Share this podcast or leave a review on your favorite podcast app, iTunes, Google Play, whatever the case may be. Share this podcast, share the video with hashtag Force for Growth, or leave a review and enter to win a copy of Think and Grow Rich
Or
or Cleanse to Heal by the Medical Medium. So we changed it up a little bit because the audio people got to me and they were like, hey, how are you going to track our shares? I was like, oh, okay. So for the audio people on Apple Podcast, just leave a review and you'll be entered to win.
yes.
Everybody else, share the video and use hashtag Force for Growth. So now that
Yes.
we're all on the same beat,
What are we drumming up? Yeah.
what are we
So,
drumming up?
speaking of the first is Thursday, and speaking of the fourth quarter of 2020, what are you drumming up? So just pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself that question.
What are
Have
you
that
drumming up?
awareness.
What's drumming up this week? Comment below. Let us know, what are you drumming up this week? What are you drumming up for Q4 2020?
Yeah.
Here's another one. Are you marching to the beat of your own drum, or are you marching to the beat of somebody else's drum?
Yeah.
Do you even like that beat? Do you even like that beat of that other person? Is it time for you to march to the beat of your own drum?
Mhm. Yeah. Are you in rhythm? Do you have your drum beat? Are you in, I think Michael Joe brought up the word cadence this morning. So I love that word with rhythm, cadence, maybe because I'm a cyclist, but are you in cadence? Is it methodical? The drum beat you're beating, does it go together? Do the steps match? Just take awareness of that.
And I
Amen.
think Ricardo, I think you brought this one up this morning. Are you ready for your drum solo?
Are you ready for your drum solo?
And I love that y'all brought that up because, the conversation went that the drummer is typically in the background, but at any point in the show, they're going to get handed over a drum solo. They better be ready, So what's your version of your drum solo? And also then it shifted because then we agreed, well, isn't the drummer one of the most important components of the entire melody, the song, everything that's going on?
Yes.
So your structure, your
And I love one of the things I think you said again, Ricardo, that Whenever we were talking about like our kids, and Suresh was talking about his kids and decisions on school, and he's given them, or we have given our kids, the drumsticks or the resources to make decisions and move forward and kind of take ownership and have their drum solo.
Beat to their own drum, march
Yeah.
to their own drum.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Comment below. Here's the question. Comment below with a yes. Are you ready for your drum solo? Are you marching to the beat of your own drum? Go ahead, Michelle.
Speaking of drum solo, we can't talk about drummers without talking about the drummer for Def Leppard,
Ooh, yeah.
who has one arm. And
Mhm.
Ricardo, you explained a little bit about his story, and even Tony Robbins has worked with him.
Worked with him.
Yeah. If
Tony
you thought you were a
Robbins.
Def Leppard fan before this, listen to what he's about to say. You'll love
So
him even more.
so Rick Allen, well, that was his name, right? I don't remember
Yeah.
his name.
Yes.
Rick Allen, the drummer for Def Leppard, as you guys may know, especially our 80s, early 90s babies, right?
Woo-hoo.
Yay! Shout out to our generation.
Yes, hair bands for life.
Hair bands for hair bands for life. So you guys, he got into an accident. He lost his arm, and he was still on tour. This was at their height, wasn't it? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, like they were literally the #1 rock band in the world when the drummer got into an accident. And he totally reframed his mindset. The band totally reframed what they did. The band did not change what they did, but he reframed how he drummed, and he was able to learn everything with one hand.
He innovated the entire world of drumming in a rock
Yes.
band.
With one hand.
Yeah.
So one of the things that he got into was spirituality and meditation and things like that. And he was really big into the oneness movement. And to find out, Tony's wife had air sickness. She wasn't able to travel because she would get sick every time that she flew on a plane. And someone recommended oneness to them, the oneness meditation and the oneness blessing specifically. And they sent him to go see Rick Allen of Def Leppard. And he helped Tony's wife get over her air sickness. How cool is that?
That is so cool.
That's awesome.
How cool is that? So
Yeah.
what can you do? What can you reframe? How can you drum to the beat of your own? How can you march to the beat of your own drum?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's one that didn't come up this morning. What do you need to beat a little harder? What are
Ooh.
you not getting the resulting sound or vibration out of that you need to hit something harder discipline, harder, put more heart into it, you know?
Mm.
So what's that
That's
for you?
good.
Real quick, big shout out to Kristen Gunset.
Hi, Kristen.
Good morning, Chris.
And the only reason you're getting the shout out right now, Kristen, is because your last name is Gunset. There's just something about that. I love that.
Some fierce vibes behind that word.
Those are definitely
Kristen.
fierce vibes.
Kristen
So-
is my sister from another mister.
Is she?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't question the fierceness now.
Is that the saying? A sister from another mister?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Remember, for you guys tuning in, win a copy of Think and Grow Rich. Like and share this podcast with the hashtag Force for Growth. If you're listening on Apple, Google Play, Spotify, Amazon, leave a review and you'll be
Upside down.
entered to win.
The book was upside
I
down.
love that.
Was it upside down?
We
Yeah.
did notice, yeah. But he was on his roll.
boom. Entered to win the book. And I'm going to drum up more prizes.
Ooh.
DVDs, Tony Robbins programs, and things like that we
Ooh.
give away. But we're going to start with the books to see what kind of reaction and interest we get on this. So let's see here. Shell. Oh, I'm going to start calling you Shell, Michelle. Good morning, Jesse. Let's see.
Morning,
Margot, our friend Margot. I definitely need more discipline, less cowbell.
Yes, cowbell.
Oh,
Good one.
That
Thank you
is
for throwing in the
good.
cowbell, Margot.
that
Yeah.
is a great reference. Let me read that again, guys. I definitely need more discipline, less cowbell.
Mhm.
You need more drum. You need more drums, less cowbell.
Yeah. What a great analogy.
How
It is.
powerful is your bass drum?
Mhm. Or what member of the band in your brain is going crazy in the corner like Will Ferrell with the cowbell that's just not
Yeah.
helping.
The noise,
Like,
eliminate the
yeah. So
noise, the background
the
noise.
noise you need to quiet down so you can know what drum beat to follow.
Yeah, the noise in your brain. What's
I
that?
wanna
What's that cowbell that keeps snagging?
I want to go back to that word cadence because that's such a great word here. And so if you think kind of like a metronome, a drum, it keeps you in line with the beat of the music. And so I think staying on beat, like whatever your goals are, whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life, there's so many distractions like the cowbell. So many distractions that we have just swirling all around us. And how do you stay on beat with, stay on that path that you're on to reach the life that you desire?
Especially when that cowbell goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. Well, how I got familiar with the word cadence involved a bicycle, and I clip in. So I have the special shoes that you clip into the pedals, and that allows you to it's less effort because as your legs pull up, you can also pull the pedal up. And anyway, cyclists will understand. So learning how to find my cadence on my new bike after I got my clip-in pedals and shoes and everything, that was so intimidating. But it's still something that I use. I mean, I would say so many times a month I have this thought, but you're clipped in, you can be spinning, and let's say you're going on a flat road. You found your cadence, you found it. You found that maximum point that's not too much energy, but also not pushing too hard because you want to preserve your energy for the ride, right? So, but like you can go downhill or something or hit a rock or I don't know, something knocks off your cadence. And then suddenly you're like, it's just your legs are going too fast. You can't stop them, even though there's no tension. There's just all these things to analyze. And so, like, I don't know if y'all have ever taken a spinning class or anything, but I mean, there is a perfect rhythm where it takes a lot less energy and you're preserving your energy for the end of the ride too. And the power lies in finding and lining up with your passion. Not to say every day is going to be, a walk in the park, but you can find that sweet spot. And, it all starts with agreeing with the beat you're following.
I love that so much, and I'm going to turn it to health because that's what I do as a health coach. So it's the same with your health. Like one of the things I'm working on a workshop that kind of talks about this, but you can integrate health into your life because we wear all these hats, right? We've got so many responsibilities and roles in our life, and it's usually overwhelming. The thing I hear most from people is how busy they are. And so you can do the same thing, just like you were talking about with the bicycle and finding that cadence where it takes less energy. You can do the same thing with your health. If you learn to feed your body properly and fuel your body, it doesn't have to be another hat you wear, another to-do, one of those things you have to think about all day. You can literally train your body through nutrition to be very, very efficient, and it makes everything else easier. It makes you a better mom. It makes you a better friend. It makes you a better worker, all of those things. So that cadence and that rhythm to reduce the amount of energy it takes to live your life.
I like it. Okay,
I think that's very important because like you have to be there to hear it, right?
I got one. Are your actions in rhythm with your results? Or are your actions in rhythm with the result that you want?
That's good.
That's a good one.
And real quick, big shout out to Rain Fresh H2O, the official water sponsor of Baskets for Good, which is November 21st, 2020, which will be feeding over 200 families. Thank you, Rain Fresh.
Best tasting water in the world.
It is some delicious water. I'm going to need to get you gals a case of this water. So
I just remember Tamara talking about she had drank it and then she refilled it because she was running an errand or whatever, refilled the water bottle. And she's like, I swear the bottles do something to the refilled water. So if you haven't tried it, you really should try it because it's some good stuff. And they're
Rain
local.
Fresh H2O, local here in North Texas. They'll deliver. They got water bottles, bottled water, and all sorts of good stuff. And it's infused with oxygen. Thank you, Rain Fresh. Yeah. Michelle, real quick before I forget, when does your course launch?
Hopefully today.
Oh, you're like, oh no, I wasn't prepared.
Oh, you put me on the
Oh,
spot.
Are you ready for your drum
I-
solo?
Oh,
Go.
I plan to
Michelle, I
launch
see the little
it
beads of
today.
sweat coming
Yeah.
on your forehead. Like
Thanks,
you're like, oh my
Ricardo.
gosh, I wasn't expecting you
He loves us to do
Okay,
that.
on the hot seat. So
today.
yeah, today. I
Okay.
plan on launching it today. The first 3 modules.
And this is on mastermind.com.
Yes.
All
Mhm.
right. Cool.
She's been drumming up some amazing stuff. So you should go to, I know you can view her website if you go over to her personal Facebook right now. But yeah, watch out for her new workshop.
So on Friday, when
Can't
it's
wait to
Freestyle
hear.
Friday, you'll be able to talk a little bit more about that after it officially launches.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
We'll be looking forward to that drum solo.
Yes.
Okay.
Ba-bum-bum.
I know.
I'll
Sad we didn't
bring
get
it.
any sound effects ready for today, guys.
Yeah,
We should
we
have brought
should
some
have.
sound effects. So what's coming up for you guys when you hear the word drum? We're going all sorts of places here. We're dropping all sorts of thoughts here with the word drum. What are you drumming up this week? Are you ready for your drum solo? Are you in rhythm with your goals? Are your actions in cadence with your results? I think that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
So Margot says, my demise seems to be my desire to do whatever I want rather than what I need to do. I am not consistent. I do things in spurts. Oh, girl. Consistency is one of the hardest things.
It is.
So
Yes.
hard.
But it's so important. It's so
Yes.
important. It's so important. One of the things when I read that and I saw that and I heard Michelle say it, dang it, I should explain a lot about what I was feeling there. But so Margot, real quick, it's always either a pull or a push. Your future goals pull you towards that future, or your past failures push you towards success. So it's always a pull or a push. It depends which one you identify with. Because specifically here you say, my demise is my desire to do whatever I want. So what if whatever you wanted to do was the pull to get you towards that goal, and then it would no longer be a demise?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be what you need to do, but it is what you want to do.
Correct.
Really, you want the outcome. So
Correct.
it brings me back to like what Tony Robbins talks about in Ultimate Edge, that pain pleasure principle. So you have to get to a point where either the pain is so great, the pain that you are, you're either trying to avoid pain or gain pleasure.
Correct.
And with your outcome. So if you can identify either pleasure that's strong enough to pull you to that, or pain, if you don't do whatever it is, that's strong enough to push you toward
Yes.
that, to eliminate that pain or gain that pleasure. It's
Mm.
and it's all a mind game.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
would-
can literally.
One thing,
Yeah, I would
Oh.
suggest, Margot, really getting clear on what you want, and getting clear on what you want, and don't
why
don't
you want
allow
it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and why you want it. Don't allow
And
it. And that
I wanna
word demise.
point something
Also,
out to
that
her.
word demise.
Yeah.
That word demise. Just oh my goodness, I feel the beating when you just said the word demise.
yeah, the vibration of okay. So Margot, there's just one term in your comment I want to highlight where you said I am not consistent. I want to take a
Ooh.
practical look at this and two things. One, I would argue you are consistent on some things. This is not the first day we've seen an amazing comment from you or we've seen feedback from you on this show. So I would say I don't know if it's like day 3 or 4, but you're consistently here watching us and giving us feedback. So one, we thank you for that. So I would say just you might not be consistent on everything, but there are things you are consistent on. And the other thing is before that term not consistent, you said I am. So be very careful in saying things like that, just rolling off your tongue, because you're actually affirming that you're not consistent. So you're going to create more of not being consistent. So you didn't mean to, and we know that because we know more of your essence, but be careful in your verbiage and how you talk to yourself, because if you put I am in front of anything, you're casting energy to it, but especially if it's something that's not true, like you're not consistent. So maybe just reanalyze what you want to be consistent on and what it doesn't matter, so just bite-sized chunks.
Yes, I am drums those thoughts into your head. Whatever
Yes.
you follow, I am with it drums it into your head.
Yes.
Boom. And finally, not to pick on Margot Day, but
We love
it's
you,
okay.
Margot.
It's okay to do things in spurts. Just make sure those spurts are productive.
Yeah.
It's okay to do things in spurts.
Forward progress.
Forward progress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see what
And
else do we
celebrate
have?
those little wins too. When you do something in spurts, okay, you did that. So celebrate that.
Yes. I'm a
Aw.
big fan of happy dances. You need to
I-
stop and do a happy dance sometimes. Like when you reach something, just stop and do it.
All right,
Yeah.
Courtney. Read Ryan's comment.
Let's see. Okay. Ryan said, big shift for me has been when I realized I was waiting for an invitation for someone else to do what I was passionate about. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So, waiting for permission from others to do what you want. Oh, that's so big. Ryan, that's great because no
Don't wait
one
for your
is
drum
going to
solo.
care as much as us, but nobody knows exactly what that drum solo is in our head, So
No.
we give you permission today. You
I
still
want
think
to
you
point
need
out a quote that I heard Rachel Hollis say one time. She said, "You don't get to sit in the cheap seats and call my shot. So don't sit there and wait for people in the cheap seats." I have trouble saying that every time. Don't wait for that. You're on home plate. So don't wait for other people's permission.
Yep. Because most of the time, also in rock bands, they just say, "Hey, get ready. Your drum solo is going to be right here for this amount of for this amount of length, or how many beats, and then you can do whatever you want to when it's your drum solo. You don't have to get approval for the drum solo. You don't have to this for the drum solo. You don't have to that for the drum solo. It's whatever you want to do during that specified amount of time for the song, unless it's your actual drum feature.
Mhm.
Be the drummer.
Be the
Yeah.
drummer. Be the drummer of your own life.
Yeah.
Whew. Our buddy Alex, drum yourself up in the morning before anyone else gets up. Drum to a different beat. Drum activities to get you closer to your goals.
Yes. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex, for tuning in. Wow,
Morning,
this was so good.
that brings the morning routine. Like
Mhm.
you've got to start your day off. When I started having a morning routine, if I have a day where I don't get my morning routine in, I'm off the whole day. So I got to start that rhythm in the morning before the
Mhm.
whole world kind of takes over.
I
Okay,
love
so
it.
here's
Yeah.
the analogy for the morning routine. So there's a lot of different types of drumsticks to use with different types of drums. And
Right.
each drumstick gets the sound a little bit different. It's a different sound. Some drumsticks don't work at all with certain types of drums. Some drumsticks work great and are the preferred drumsticks for certain type of drums. So the morning routine is like using the proper drumstick.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it is. And this doesn't happen every day, but I woke up naturally at 5:27 a.m. today. My alarm was going to go off at 5:30, and I just kind of laid there and I was tempted to get a few more, but you'll develop. It's not always easy at first. It might be hard to stay up and not go back to sleep. It might be hard, but just that's temporary. That's just a little spurt. So keep drumming up the routine you want and take what you like, leave what you don't. And I mean, we've said it before. If all you do is just wake up and not go back to sleep, that's still progress. And then incorporate a meditation, but just anything that, feeds your brain. Your brain it's a mental factory. It only can build based off what you pour into it, just like health. And I'm sure Michelle can go on and on about that. It's your body can only make new cells based off what you feed it, but that's also what we feed our brain. And so just get a head start. Just wake up and get a head start. Study some Kobe. If you need morning motivation, study Kobe Bryant's morning routine. How about that challenge?
There you go. That's so good. That's so good. I was going to say something and I totally lost my thought as soon as you said Kobe. I forgot. I was like, "Ooh, I got it. And
Sorry,
then I'm
I get
like,
passionate about mornings.
it went away.
Mm.
Don't be scared to change the drumstick. Don't be scared to change the drum. If you need a bigger drum, get yourself a bigger drum. If you need a smaller drum, get yourself a smaller drum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to start with some bongo drums. You don't need a full drum set.
Hey, bongos can be real fun.
It's okay to start with just a little old pair of bongo drums. Start where you need to start. You don't need to start big. You don't need to start huge. You can just start with whatever it is that you want to start with. Man, those analogies for the drums.
I know. They're great.
They keep on coming. Okay. Remember to like and share the podcast. Enter to win your copy of Think and Grow Rich or Cleanse to Heal by the Medical Medium. And I really like the way that the screens look now because I feel like I can pick up the books appropriately.
Yes.
Or I might Vanna White them. Like, look,
As long as he doesn't hold it upside down. Just kidding.
look.
There we go.
Think and Grow Rich or the medical medium. Like and share the podcast with the hashtag Force for Growth to enter to win one of these books, and more prizes will be coming the more interaction that we get. Boom.
Yes.
Final thoughts on the word drum, Michelle Martini.
I'm just going to say march to the beat of your own drum.
That was a beat. It was adding a beat.
That was a beat.
That definitely added the beat.
That noise, that background, the cowbell.
Right.
So, eliminate the cowbell. I'm going to go with Margot on that one.
Yeah.
My little Lego dinosaur fell.
Oh.
It's okay though. I don't think he made it.
Oh, did he break? Oh.
He broke,
Rest
but
in
it's
peace,
Lego.
T-Rex.
It's okay. But that's what happens on live
Think of a
TV.
better background. Yes. Okay. So closing thoughts. So keep it simple. I'm just going to say, find a good power song. Michelle, you sent me a playlist last week I love. So find a good power song or ask your buddies what their favorite power song is, but find just one that you can just recharge yourself this week or just your go-to song and build a playlist. Start simple, but just give it some time, think on it, but just give it a song. Make it easy.
And if you're a woman, This Girl Is on Fire is a great one to start with.
Ooh.
Yes.
I've been really rocking out to The Greatest Showman. This Is Me.
Oh, I love
lately.
that. I
It's
love
a
that
powerful
song.
song.
That's on my playlist too.
I haven't actually seen The Greatest Showman.
Oh
It's
my
just
goodness.
the actual like Tony Robbins crew tradition of that song that I'm like, oh, I love it.
And part of the lyric says, I march to the beat of my own drum. I march to the beat of my own drum. This is me.
And I love it because the song just says like, look, I'm bruised. I'm here, but I'm brave. Let's do this, you know?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
for
So find
me,
that song for you.
Yes.
Don't be scared to change your drum. If the drum set that you're on right now is not working, go get yourself a new drum set.
Can I give a really quick example of that?
Go for it, Michelle. No, Michelle. We're gonna cut
Okay.
off right now. We can't. We gotta stop right now.
So I posted on Facebook last week my new website, right? My
Yes.
company name, Life Anchors Away. I had a professional review my website and she suggested I change my company name. So I did. So I changed my website this weekend. So I'll put that update on Facebook for anyone that wants to check it out. But I was willing to pivot quickly, which is something I teach in my workshop, but also you have to. Like, I have lived my life not being willing to pivot. And so I'm like, okay, she's a professional. She knows what she's talking about. She's got 20 plus years of experience. I'm pivoting, even though I've already put it out there.
Well,
So
your whole workshop.
don't be afraid.
Yeah, because you started your workshop with a certain goal and it encompasses that goal too, but it still ended up being a bigger idea than you planned because you were ready to step up.
Don't be afraid to pivot and change your drum, like Ricardo said. It's
Yep. Pivot. Change that drum.
And don't be, same like Rick Allen, even if you're at the top of your game and something has knocked you down and made it impossible to do what you used to do the way you used to do it, that's okay. It's pivot time.
Yeah.
It's not something to dwell on. It's not something to get upset about. Yeah, you're in a trial and error period. We're going to try a lot of new things or different ways to do the same thing, but it's not the end of the world. And it can, and look at how many more people Rick Allen's helped since just, expanding past just the drummer for Def Leppard, so just
If you're not
don't
getting
be
the sound
afraid to
out of
innovate.
your drum, if you're not getting the sound of your own drum, don't be scared to change the drum head or tune your drum properly.
yes. There you go.
We could keep going. We got to cut it off eventually.
Yeah, we do gotta cut it off because that drum head could be nice and worn out, and that's why you're not getting the proper sound.
Yeah.
All right. Again, final here. Big shout out to Rain Fresh H2O, the official sponsor of Baskets for Good 2020. Local company here in North Texas. They'll deliver to your house, and it's oxygen infused, all sorts of good stuff. Go check out Rain Fresh Water. I'm getting good at this.
You are.
You are getting good. And Ryan had a great point. He said totally right. Powerful people ask, okay, what can I try now?
Yes.
And thank you for putting that
Thank you
out
for
there,
tuning
Ryan.
in, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like and share the podcast. Visit forceforgrowth.com to subscribe to the audio version or our YouTube channel. And remember to like and share this video. Leave a comment, a review on Google or Apple Podcasts for a chance to win your copy of Think and Grow Rich or Cleanse to Heal by the Medical Medium. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back on Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Have a great
guys.
week.
Bye.